Hello viewers, welcome to Rishraj Classes YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to talk about one interesting and important chapter of science of class 10, and that is metals and non-metals. This chapter is my favorite chapter. I like this chapter. So today in this video, we are going to talk about the properties of metals and non-metals. Initially, when few elements, compounds were slowly getting discovered, the scientists were not able to differentiate, means which are the compounds and which are the elements. That time, they were only classifying the known things based on their properties. And classifying as metals and non-metals was the basic classification. Means depending on their properties, they decided, yes, this is going to be the metal. Yes, this is going to be the non-metal. Because whenever we differentiate anything, one base should be there. So here metals and non-metals are classified, they are differentiated based on their physical properties as well as their chemical properties. So in this video, we are going to talk only about the physical properties of metals and non-metals. This itself is very interesting and important part of this chapter. So let's start with the physical properties of metals and non-metals. The very first thing, metals are beautiful. Why? Because they have shiny surface. They are lustrous. Means metals are lustrous. While non-metals, no, they are not shiny. They are non-lustrous. Second thing, metals are usually hard substance. Very hard substance. Means if we try to touch them, hold them, we find them that they are very hard. While comparatively, non-metals are soft substances. Next, metals exist in solid state at room temperature. Almost all the metals exist in solid state at room temperature, while non-metals exist in solid or gaseous state. Means most of the non-metals exist in either solid or gaseous state at room temperature. Now, what decides the solid, liquid and gaseous nature of the substance? Yes, the melting and boiling point. So, as metals exist in solid state, metals have high melting and boiling point. While most of the non-metals, as they exist in gaseous state, comparatively, the melting and boiling point of the non-metals is quite low. Now, one more important and interesting property of the metal is metals are malleable as well as ductile. Means we can make sheets of the metals and we can also make fine wires from the metals. But from non-metals, we cannot do so. So, non-metals are non-malleable and non-ductile. So, metals are malleable and ductile, non-metals are non-malleable and non-ductile. Now, the next important thing is metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. What is the meaning of good conductor? Means they allow heat and electricity to pass through them. Such substances are called as good conductor. While the substances which do not allow heat or electricity to pass through them, they are called as bad conductor. So here metals are good conductor of heat and electricity, while non-metals are bad conductors of heat and electricity. Metals, they are sonorous. Sonorous means if we hit the metal, it makes sound. Means they are sonorous. While non-metals, they are not at all sonorous. See, this classification was in general. Just the general observation of majority of the metals and non-metals. But there are few exceptional cases. Now, we are going to discuss about the exceptional cases. The first point, what did we discuss? metals have shiny surface while non-metals, they do not have any shine. But there is one non-metal. There is one non-metal whose crystals shine, and it's the crystals of iodine. So iodine is the non-metal whose crystals have a shiny surface. Okay. Now, one more point we discussed, that metals are hard substance. Yes, most of the metals are hard. But even here, we have the exception that the metals like sodium and potassium, they are very soft. They are soft metals. They are so soft that we can even cut these metals with knife. So, sodium and potassium are the metals which are soft. Okay, sodium and potassium, they are soft substances. Similarly, we said that non-metals usually are not so hard, but diamond is the non-metal which is the hardest substance. And because of this hardest nature of the diamond is used in glass cutting. So diamond, though being non-metal, it is the hardest substance. Now the next point what we discussed is, metals have high melting and boiling point, and so they exist in solid state. But mercury is the metal which exists in liquid state at room temperature. Yes, mercury is metal, but it exists in liquid state at room temperature. And bromine is the non-metal which exists in liquid state at room temperature. These are few exceptional cases. Okay. Now one more point I told you, that non-metals are not the good conductor of electricity. But we do have one non-metal, and that is graphite. Graphite is one form of carbon, one allotrope of carbon which is good conductor of electricity. So graphite, though being non-metal, it's good conductor. So this part, it was quite simple. Yes, it was quite simple. Difference between metals and non-metals based on their physical properties. But only on this part, there are many expected questions. Many expected questions are there. For that, just be perfect in the physical properties of metals and non-metals and the exceptional cases. So they may ask the question like, write the difference between metals and non-metals. Or for objective, dash is the non-metal which is good conductor of electricity. Or dash is the metal which exists in liquid state at room temperature. Or dash is the non-metal which have shiny surface. Or give reason why metal wires are used in domestic wiring. Or why metal plates are used as school bells. Or why metal is used in making school bells. Or why metal is used in making bells. So here you have to remember that which particular property of that metal is used for that particular purpose. Now for example, why metals are used in making bells? Because metals are sonorous. When we hit the metal with any hard substance, it makes sound. So this property of the metals of making sound is used in making bells. So whenever you study any concept, don't study as question answers. Means now here, don't study only question answers of your concept, of your lesson. Here what you have to do, study the entire lesson. Let the question be framed in any form. If you know the basic concept, you can answer any type of question based on that concept. So I always suggest my students that never study in the question answers pattern. You study the concept and you form your own questions in mind. Yes, this is the concept. So what are the possible questions they can ask based on this? So this way you study. So if you just change the method of your studying, it will help you to score better marks in your upcoming exam. So my dear students, I think the physical properties of the metals and non-metals is quite clear, and how to study the lesson, even that is clear. So in our next video, we will continue this lesson and we will come with the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Yes, this lesson is not going to get over only in one part. We will be making at least 3 to 4 videos of these metals and non-metals. So to get the updates of all our videos, don't forget to subscribe our channel. And don't forget to share such interesting explanation of this concept among your friends. Means don't forget to share this video among your friends. So my dear students, my dear viewers, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you.